Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And today we have Conquest Calamity, the next segment of high difficulty events, unknown EP requirements, zero stamina, which is cool, and we have all 7 stages. So, at minimum, you're going to have 7 videos. But we're just going to go in order down the line. These are not in the same order as normal Conquest, because normal Conquest started with Ifrit, who is now the last one. But it's not going backwards either, because Milim would be first then, but she's in the middle. So, today's video is going to be taking on the Void of Chaos, the Orc. Now, if we just go and take a quick peek at what the Orc has for... oh, not that. Normal Conquest, we can kind of giggle a little bit. So, Ravenous Chaos has 90k HP, 8700 attack, and 5800 defense. Under 100k HP. How much does Calamity Conquest have? Oh, 2 million. Okay, just slightly more. 17,000 attack, 13,000 defense, nerfs oranges into the ground, pierce rate, chance to stun is still there, he heals, physical and dark attack 200, so he's still going to do that turn 6 wipe if you don't... Oh, he's got stun resistance. Alright, you can't stun his ass anymore, because Lumi, you can only remove that on turn 8, and he's gonna wipe your front line before that. So at least they did kind of get rid of that. Secret skill gauge, 100%. Physical resistance by 10%. AoE, physical, dark. Okay, 2 million HP. We have a couple of different ways we can go about this. We can brute force 2 million damage. We could use a protector that gives us extra damage against dark, which is probably what we're going to do because we have a few of those. Or we can just cheese the shit out of it. So I guess we'll do maybe all 3 here today? Maybe 2? I don't know. You could reckoning all these stages and they'll probably die. So, nothing really to worry about there, because they don't remove... Well, we're not going to look at them yet. He doesn't remove your status effects, so you can just use the free-to-play Reckoning team. Or maybe if you have Hinata, because he's still going to do a lot of damage to you. Let's just jump in. Alright, first we're going to just brute force this. There's no set starting hand, and we're not using a light... Well, we are technically, but we're going to nuke with Exalted Champion Milim. We've just taken off the hero for Violet. And this team should do 2 million damage, maybe with 2 ults, but let's just try it out. Not having a set starting hand could be a pretty big detriment. Okay, I mean that's okay. So let's take you out, and then let's bring you in. We've got a lot of protection gauge in our supports right here. So Milim and her support are turn 2. Violet is turn 3 with Blanc underneath her is turn 2, so we should get access to Velzard next turn regardless of sending some crap orbs here. Okay, yeah, there's the orange nerf. We only have 1 Milim orb, not a super big deal, because we're going to green buff here. Velzard will convert everything, and then we'll bring Guy in. Yeah, and then we can rush literally everybody's ult. So, boom. Alright, cool. And then this will get Milim's EX ult with this 1 green orb that's going to be buffed up. And then we'll be... I mean, will we be ready to nuke next turn? Can we do that? 123 points? So we'll have 170 points? I feel like we can probably nuke there. If not, then I'm going to be really disappointed. Okay, yep, okay. Oh, nope, never mind, we're not. Because we're stunned. Okay, well, at least we can get the... We can get the EX ult for Guy. Because, why not? Let's just do this. Nah, it doesn't really do anything. Alright, so there's the EX ult for Guy. We're gonna have 200 points now, because we were just locked there. Yeah. 200 points, now we certainly have enough. We've got 2 EX ults, even though 1 is AoE, not a super huge deal. So, alt, weakness strike doesn't matter, magic buff, the synergy power for Exalted Champion, Primal Demon, which technically all 3 of these characters are. And we still also have an attack buff in the back that we have enough points for. So you know what? Let's take Violet out, because she's not Exalted Champion. So we'll do the full thing. And for some unforsaken god reason, if we can't actually kill, then we'll have a free Milim ult here. But I feel like we have enough power. I feel like Milim should do 2 million damage right here. But I have been surprised before. Will Guy do 200 million, or 2 million damage, sorry. Probably not. He certainly doesn't. 426. Actually, we might be in trouble. Here. We still could have gone another, I think, turn. So if you had brought like another buffing character with a bit more power, you probably could have got it done. Do you do enough? 1.3. Oh, the follow-up orbs. Oh, okay, that was careful. That was lucky, not careful. 90k normal orbs. So okay, turn 4, we got it done. Obviously, if you don't have Violet's magic buff, then you're not going to do that much damage. You could bring Isis, the Awakened Isis, for the ult resistance down. You could bring Fern, right? For the EX ult up and ult down. That would most certainly make sure we kill, actually. Okay, I mean, that's not bad. It is unfortunate that most of the teams that give us extra damage against Dark are orange teams, and oranges are just so heavily nerfed. But we could probably brute force Frieren in here, so let's just do that. Alright, we're going to go in with the full Frieren team. Obviously, if you don't have Raphael, things get a bit more tricky, but we're going to have now a lot of extra damage, and we know how powerful Fern and Frieren are by themselves. So, Octagram Lumi, certainly not necessary. If you want to bring Stark to taunt, like you can, but the Orc doesn't wipe you with an ult. He wipes you with a big ol' AoE attack. And both of them are actually AoE, so it doesn't his taunt wouldn't matter. He would live, which is great, but it wouldn't save your other characters. Okay, that's perfect. We got multiple Violet orbs there. So we'll do this. We will steal orbs, and then we'll bring in Frieren. And it doesn't really matter if we're gonna nuke with Fern or Frieren. We're gonna do a lot of damage here. At least the first turn the oranges are nerfed, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, ooh, 22k a shot. I think we're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be fine. Alright, so now the oranges are nerfed. Okay, yep, thanks for that. That is very lucky that that orange orb is incoming. So, what are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do here? Let's take you out for now. Right? I honestly don't think we need an EX ult for you. Or I think we're gonna murderize within a couple of turns. So let's just do this. Let's take you out of here. And then we'll bring in Raphael for Fern, since she has 3 orbs. Yeah, and then we'll steal again. This protection gauge increase will not overcome the nerf. We're still down 30% on gauge across the board. So we're not going to get a lot of protection gauge here. Himmel will be able to outpace the skill point nerf, which is great. So we'll get back still a decent amount of points here. Yeah, we're going to cap out. So that's a plus. Could Frieren kill on turn 3 with just a few buffs? Oh, well, turn 4, I mean. Alright, so let's see how this hand converts. Oh, full hand, okay. Unfortunate that nobody was unstunned. Not a super huge loss either. Yeah, look at that. Look at that patheticness. This is a full hand of oranges with 2 Raphael orbs, 3 Lumi orbs, and look how much we're actually getting off of that. That is a huge nerf. At least we get the points, though. So, cool. Alright, we'll take this shot. Excellent. And now... Alright, so there's the full hand oranges. Let's just go ahead and... Will we kill here? Will we kill? Let's bring you in for Lumi. Let's bring you in for Raphael. Okay, so let's do ult and synergy. Synergy power, and that's it. Oh, that's all the point. Okay, so... Let's see if this is enough to kill just for funsies, and if not, then we can just come back. So we're going to have 120% alt damage and then 100% synergy power is what we're going to be rocking. And plus, oh well, no. Oh, we don't have an EX alt. Okay, well, I mean, still, are we going to be able to kill with this? The alt down and then the alt up and the synergy rate just for funsies? Probably not. Probably not. But always worth a check. Okay, we'll be back. Actually, you know what? This is actually a good example of what happens when you don't kill within the time frame. So we're going to let our front line get wiped here. I do not want to kill. So just send one orb here. Okay, cool. And then there's another stun. It missed on Frieren, so that's cool. But now I think going into turn 6, he's going to buff himself up at the start of his turn right here. Oh, okay, so we got 7 turns. There's a heal, there's an alt, there's a physical and dark buff. So let's see what happens to our front line now on turn 7. Boom, okay, single target. So, I mean, that would have saved, that Stark would have lived that, but then we got this, and now everyone's dead. So, okay, you have 7 turns. Does he have follow-up after that, or is it just the one? Okay, so you have 7 turns to kill him, which is more than enough. We can go 7 turns, and we can get plenty of points to nuke here. So let's come back and do that again. Okay, we're back on turn 4. Not a lot has happened. We did get the EX ult, though, but unfortunately, because we're stunned on turn 3, I can't actually use this, but I couldn't use it early. So, I mean, I guess we could still nuke on turn 7. Would it actually? Yeah, it would activate turn 7. So, I mean, we could do that. And then we can do this. Boom. Alright, a little bit of a heal. We've gotten 1 stack of the AoE buff, which does help. Frieren does have the EX ult now, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get, you know, whatever little tiny bit of protection gauge we can. We'll use Himmel to convert those last 2. And now it's just a game of building up skill points. Enough that we can actually comfortably nuke here. Which, since we're going to be capped out, we could do that. Like, we could. We don't have to wait till turn 7. Because based on that damage that we did in the last clip, 830k with 2 buffs, essentially. If we had 3 buffs, and actually an EX ult, so we actually got the other half of that skill that we used, then we would be okay. But because I just want to have some funsies, let's go ahead and do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to get stunned again, but we're going to get some extra weakness strike from Raphael now. 32k, not a big deal. They're not the reason we're here to do damage. We are buffing up Frieren even more. We're going to get stunned now. Oh, okay, it missed on Raphael. That's actually best case scenario because we can steal now. Alright, so magic countdown, 1 more turn to go. Boom. And boom. Excellent. That's a full convert. Then we can full steal and get protection gauge again, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't quite get us another Himmel, but it does cap us at 400 points. Next turn, the element debuff and the attack buff will take effect. So, yep, thanks for that. Cool. And now, okay, big time heal. There's the magic state, there's the debuff. Frieren has her attack buff now. And we should have enough points to do pretty much everything that I want to do now. And we can do funny damage, so. Weakness strike, attack buff. Alright, let's take you out of here now. And then we'll do the magic buff. Actually, no, we will not do the magic buff. We'll just do this. And then we can use both of Fern's skills. Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do. We'll take Violet out. So no magic buff, but not a huge loss. And then, oh, 1 more AoE buff. Why not? Just so we can do extra damage. And we can really make this orc look kind of funny. On an AoE ult, by the way. This isn't a single target Fern ult. This is an AoE ult. So, let's see what... Does 1 orb kill? No, 1 orb doesn't kill. It doesn't do 2 million damage. The ult will. 500k? Oh. 3.1 million. Or is that 31? That might have been 31. Do mine eyes deceive me? Probably. I can't count, we know this. Either way, the orc is dead. So, yeah, there are 2 teams. I'm only going to show 2 teams today. Obviously, if you have access to the, at least the Hinata from Pretty Sparkle, not Pretty Sparkle, Sparkle of Youth, then all of these stages are cakewalk. Like, you don't need Frey, you don't need Yuki. You can just use Carry and Hinata, Shizu, and 2 other green orb changers, and you'll live, because you just absorb all the damage, and Reckoning will kill on turn 5. So, that's also a strategy. But let me know in the comments what other teams you use to clear this orc stage, since I'm only doing 2. But that's it from me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.